Hey everybody, it is time once again for more pub time with Cptn.Canuck here. We've got another game starting right here, and there we go. Loading right in, and we'll see how this goes. Things are getting exciting. Now, a bit of exciting news. I think I mentioned this in my last video, but I've just gotten the official confirmation that I will be shoutcasting for Dota, which is a big Dota 2, well, it's a big gaming convention. They've got tabletop games, miniatures, RPGs, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, Dota 2, StarCraft, League of Legends, pretty much everything gaming, everything nerd is going on over there, and it is definitely going to be a damn good time. So I have got myself a gig shoutcasting that their Dota 2 tournament there, so I will be there over the course of this coming weekend. So definitely check that out. It's going to be running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think the only broadcasted events for Dota will be Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I believe if the scheduling works out, we will be broadcasting again later that night for the finals. It's not finalized yet, but we'll be working that out. So definitely check that out. It's going to be a great time. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Lots of great teams coming out. Actually, a team that I cast from the AD2L actually invited me to come cast out there because they're participating in the tournament. So definitely check that out. They're going to be streaming through Azubu TV, so you'll have to check that out instead of the regular Twitch. But anyways, onto this game right now. Oh, jeez, no, free camera. There we go. That was why I couldn't move. All right, so this game right here, we've got Player Quit up against Antivirus Gaming. So two good names here. I'm liking these. It's really hard to find a team with a good name that's easy to pronounce and talk about during the course of the game. We had what was the one last night? It was Rombakla or something. Fuck, who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know. Nice and easy. Anyways, getting into this game here, we've got Visage and Prophet being banned out right off the bat. So Visage banned, I understand fully. Maybe not so much the Prophet, but I guess he kind of earns his place as a regular ban by being the douchebag he can be at times. Anyways, getting down into this, we're almost we are gonna dip into reserve time here for Antivirus's last ban. So just making sure that they get the absolute correct pick here. Don't blame them whatsoever, but should be interesting. Now, Silencer. That's a bit of an obscure one as well. Perhaps a terrible experience with a Silencer in a past life. Who knows, man? Who knows? But Ember Spirit banned out by Player Quit, so thinking that Ember is going to be highly valued now that he is in Captain's mode, and I would agree. He's been tearing some shit up. Definitely kind of been rocking the competitive scene. So I haven't played him very much myself, but he is a fantastic hero. I like playing with him, and he serves his role. Anyways, getting into the first pick here. Antivirus looking to snatch something up. They do settle on a Naga Siren, so I like a Naga first pick. It's a really versatile pick, especially since a lot of people are starting to get back into running Naga as a carry. Doesn't happen all the time, but occasionally it does. And Player Quit going to snatch their carry right off the bat. They're going to go for a Luna and an Ancient Apparition now. I'm not sure if I agree with taking the Luna first. Taking Luna is fine, but grabbing her first leaves you susceptible to getting counterpicked. And I mean, Naga has a good setup for an aggressive lane if you want to put someone with a hard stun, someone along the lines of Alina, a Leshrac, a Pugna even, something along those lines. Even a Murano can really punish any sort of any carry, really. And so having Luna allows Antivirus to plan around this and adjust their draft as such. Now we'll see if that's what they plan to do. I mean, it's pretty easy to go aggressive against Mirana, or against Luna if you coordinate it properly. So we'll have to see what they choose to pick here. But they do grab themselves a Darkseer right off the bat, so grabbing that safe offlaner. We'll have to see what they plan to do with that. There's I mean, he'll probably be going to the off lane, but if they do decide to go aggro against the Luna, then he'll be in a 1v1 lane, which I think there are better heroes for a 1v1 off lane. Darkseer is really good at playing safe, and he can play aggressive, but there are some heroes that just fare way better with the gold that you get from a 1v1 lane, like, for example, the Slark. He fares really well in a 1v1 lane because he steals stats, he kind of jumps on somebody. He's a 1v1 specialist, in my opinion, and you know, he can really benefit from having the advantage of that lane. So maybe a better pickup if you plan to go aggro, but we'll see what they choose to do. The first couple bans coming out here, we're looking at a Sand King and a Slardar getting rid of right off the bat, so that will not be available to either team. Obviously, hence the ban. Now, player quit. Now, I love the Ancient Apparition, but I prefer him in aggressive lanes. And here's why. Basically because Cold Feet is a fantastic combo ability. It's, I mean, it's, I would even say better than some big stuns such as, you know, Light Strike Array or Split Earth. Because I think it actually does more damage. It does a ton of damage, and if you can guarantee that it will hit with a guaranteed stun, whether it be, you know, a Sven Stormhammer, a Shadow Demon Disruption, a frickin' anything, really. If you can get that Cold Feet to latch, it does a ton of damage, and it holds somebody down for a really, really long time. And as well, I mean, even just using it in a team fight, it forces somebody to have to move and change their position, which means that is less time they are spending moving and interrupting you. So I like him, but I prefer him in an aggressive lane, which means that you know, I like him with a Shadow Demon. Now something like Antivirus. Well, Antivirus is picking up the Kunkka to retaliate to player quits Invoker. Now Kunkka works out right against Invoker. I mean, the two trade pretty evenly. If Invoker gets a jump on Kunkka with Cold Snap and Forge Spirits, or a Tornado into Cold Snap or something, he can fare pretty well, but Kunkka does a lot better at wearing down Invoker in the lane with that Tidebringer, running up, taking a shot, backing up, running up, taking a shot, backing up, and you know, just continuing on in that style. So, anyways, player quit has gone for a Rubik, so they do have a combo ability for that Cold Feet. However, I do believe this is going to be a very safe and passive lane. Rubik is not good at going aggressive. He doesn't have a lot of damage, and you know, spells are mainly used as you know, counter stuns. You levitate somebody up, you throw them back into their team to stun them out, and it kind of keeps them off your biscuits for a while, but not as great for going aggressive. I mean, you can do it if you find somebody out of position. They can definitely get a Levitate Cold Feet and Lucent Beam, and then lock anybody, even the Darkseer, down, and just wail on them. So I think this lane will fare them pretty well in the off lane, but it looks like we're probably going to be having safe lane versus safe lane here. It'll depend on Antivirus's next couple picks, but it looks, ooh, Ricky, yeah, this is definitely going to be safe versus safe. So going to be a little bit of passivity in the early game, and definitely going to be an interesting one. Going to be an interesting one. Now, Alright. We'll see how this Ricky turns out. I don't think Ricky has any particularly interesting interactions with any of the heroes on player quits, so it's kind of just going to be more of a usual Ricky running around trying to get ganks, and if you get somebody in the smoke, he's good. But, you know, that has yet to be seen.
10 seconds remaining.
Now, the interesting interaction that I would like to point out, however, is the Naga Siren Darkseer Kunkka. Now, I should have mentioned this a little earlier when it was picked, but you know, we got a little bit of downtime now, so let's mention it. Now, Naga Siren, Sleep, Darkseer, Vacuum, Kunkka, Boat. It's pretty much a perfect recipe for disaster. If you can land that, there is pretty much no way the other team's going to win that deep fight.
10 seconds remaining.
It is just such an absurd combo, and will just interrupt player quit to the point where they just won't have themselves a very good time. So, now, Drow Ranger getting picked up by player quit as their offlaner, so that's a little bit interesting. I'm curious to see how that plays out for him. Up against, well, alright, so assuming it's safe versus safe, that means Drow is going to be up against the Tri-Land of Naga Siren Ricky +1, which is not a matchup I think she can win. If she gets netted and leap struck onto, she can get shut down pretty damn well. Now, Ricky, oh, what? Okay, so this is taking things for a spin. We're going to have a support Kunkka. Support Kunkka. Okay. Alright, so support Kunkka works pretty well with Naga Siren. You get the net off, you get the Tidebringer, and it actually dishes out a ton of damage. Now with the Ricky, I'm not sure if it'll be an aggressive lane, because Ricky usually prefers a safe lane, even a solo lane if he can get it safely, which is not often, but you know, it's still good for him anyways. Shadow Fiend probably going to be taking that mid-roll. Darkseer will be heading towards an off lane of some sorts, whether that be the safe or the actual off, we have yet to see. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure how this will play out. The one interesting interaction here is Ricky and Drow Ranger, as I was mentioning. Ricky, if he blink strikes onto Drow Ranger, she loses half of her damage right off the bat. Marksmanship gets bonus 40 agility, and but no bonus if there are enemy heroes within a 400 AoE, which means that, blink strike, it's like, fuck you, no bonus. So, now picking up that Drow against the Ricky, maybe not the best idea, especially when there's a Song of the Siren on the enemy team as well, because it means that in any team fight, they're going to be able to get that song off and get somebody up next to you at any point that they want to. Now, it does look like we've got... Alright, so yeah, Shadow Fiend mid. We've got a Kunkka, Ricky, and a Naga Siren heading down towards the bottom lane. Up on the top, we've got the Darkseer going solo safe. Or solo offlane. Now, up in the top here, we've got the Rubik and the Ancient Apparition. Will be... What? What?
30 seconds to battle.
What? 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 Okay. Alright, so Invoker solo safe, Drow middle, and then aggressive try between the Luna, the Rubik, and the Ancient Apparition bottom. Now, I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out, because AVG, Antivirus Gaming, have a lot more damage on their side. I have to... Darkseer's here? Ricky solo? Okay, so solo Ricky versus Invoker. Man, I've read this so wrong. I have read this so terribly wrong. I don't know, though. I think it'll work out. Now, they're going to try for a level 1 gank on the mid lane, and with that Invis on the Rubik, it's almost guaranteed. Shadow Fiend's going to have to go forward, he's going to get TK'd, he's going to get cold feeded, unless, yeah, he did go cold feed first, so yeah, Shadow Fiend's dead. This will be first blood in the mid lane, no questions about it. Well, Ancient Apparition was late to the party, but the damage will be enough. That will be first blood. Rubik does take the kill, and that will be it. Ancient Apparition and Rubik going to rotate down towards bottom, but these three are walking up, and Ancient Apparition is heading right down through the river. This could be trouble here. Torrent's going to go out on the Rubik. They catch him out. Ion Shell up on the Darkseer, trying to chase him down. He's attempting to run away. The Cold Feet does lash on the Naga. He's going to get a TK up, drop him down, but one more tick. Oh my god, he pops off that salve. Trying to run away. One tick will hit, and the Torrent latches. He is done. There it goes. Kunkka gets the second kill of the game on the Rubik, and 1-1 is your kill score starting off this game. Now, seeing as it was the solo mid player versus the Rubik, I think it was a slightly better trade for PVG player, or PVG play or quit. Well, they lost the support, the enemy team lost the mid, and they got first blood. So definitely a exchange in the favor of the Dire. Now, as for how this tri-lane is going to work out, I think with the Darkseer here, it does work out in Antivirus's favor. The net into the Torrent is pretty potent. It can hit multiple heroes, but will probably only hit one. And it's a little bit more damage. I think they win this lane if they play it right. But it looks like they're a little bit scared, and that Cold Feet dishing out a lot of damage might pick off this Naga Siren. They get a TK, drag her back, a couple more hits, and Naga will drop. Torrent misses everything, and Kunkka is now in the middle of no man's land. Going to have to back himself up here. So maybe I spoke too soon. Player quit have a pretty decent lane to themselves here. Now, like I said, it does a decent amount of damage, but Rubik, not a lot for damage. Fade Bolt, 70 damage at level 1. It's not very huge. And Cold Feet does its fair share of damage, but 37 damage over 4 seconds, or 37 damage per second over 4 seconds. So you end up with, approximately 130-ish 140-ish damage off of that if it goes all 4 seconds and they don't get pulled out. So, you know, that plus the Fable is like 200 damage. And I mean, you got the control, you got the Luna blasting on somebody with loosened beams and whatnot, which can help. But anyways, they're going to go for it. They pull the Kunkka back. Cold Feet should latch. Yes, it does. But they don't quite have the damage. He's going to turn around, throw a Torrent. One more shot will finish him off, but the Torrent latches on Luna underneath the tower. She's going to fall as well. And so that is an advantage for the Radiant side for sure. Darkseer charging forward, going to try to pick off this Ancient Apparition, and I think he's going to have himself a decent time doing so. There he goes. One more hit will do it, and the net was wasted on the AA, so it will not be available for the Rubik. But Torrent misses. Now surging forward is the Kunkka. Looking for that Rubik, and X marks the spot. Not going to do much there. Luna coming in, disrupting a little bit of shit. Going to pull the enemy team back now. Both teams just kind of poking at each other as they retreat, but 3-3 the kill score, and pretty even laning phase so far. I think the big factor here is, well, never mind. Ricky gets caught up top. I was about to say that the big factor here is that the Ricky is in another lane getting his farm up, while the Luna is having her farm constantly contested and her shit disrupted by a Darkseer Naga Kunkka, who don't necessarily need the farm that much. I mean, they're great heroes to have farm on, but, they're not the... Well, they're semi-cores. They're semi-cores. They're not the carries. Luna is the absolute carry. She is the epitome of the dire side, and she needs to get that gold. So having her stuff disrupted like that means that Ricky might pull ahead. However, he did die solo, and he is actually behind on last hits to the Luna. So Ricky not performing as well in that solo lane as he maybe should, but, we'll see how that plays out. Anyways, Drow Ranger bottles up an illusion rune, gonna hook around behind the tower, see what she can find in terms of Shadow Fiends, but it's not gonna be much. She's gonna turn around, head back to farming up creeps. It looks like bottom lane is pacified a little bit as the Radiant side begins pulling creeps up and just pulling their way back underneath their tower. Kunkka and Nagasiren going to be there to farm that up. Kunkka not going for any points in Tidebringer just yet, just instead going for the Torrent and the X marks the spot. Now, this pull going to get disrupted by the dire side as they head over here, pick themselves up a couple creeps, might finish off the Centaur and get themselves a little bit of extra gold. Out from this mid lane, how have things been progressing here? We've got a 20-8 on the Drow Ranger for last hits, and only 10-3 on the Shadow Fiend. So he's doing really poorly on the last hits, but I think that's kind of to be expected. I mean, Drow Ranger does a ton of damage at level 1, and is really easy to last hit with. Shadow Fiend has 45 damage at level 1, and it increases with stacks of Necromastery, but getting those stacks is pretty difficult. So we'll see Shadow Fiend start to pick up and farm a little bit more now that he's got some souls under his belt, and he's got a few more points raise. However, for now, Drow is ahead and has been controlling the runes well, so she is doing a little better up there. Ricky, now level 6, has his permanent invisibility, so Invoker a little bit more scared. He is playing that Exort build, did go for an early point in Wex, just to make sure that he has the utility of all of his spells. However, it's not the usual build. I mean, generally you don't need all your spells, you don't have the mana to cast all your spells, and you won't be able to invoke all of your spells because of the cooldown on invoke. So instead, you just go for a more focused build, get a few more points in the spells that you want, which is usually Quas Exort or Quas Wex, depending on your preference. Now, bottom lane, Luna farming up a little bit better now. She's sitting at 30 last hits to 2. So as I was saying, her shit was getting disrupted. She is sitting on top of the CS charts and is not giving a single hoot about the enemy team. Ricky dropping himself ridiculously low. And looks like Sunstrike was using that engagement, so it will not be available to pick him off if the Invoker does spawn him. But he is trying to stay up here, stay in experience range. Invoker doesn't have any detection, so I think he's pretty safe for now. Actually, there is a Sentry Ward pretty far up here, so yeah, Invoker drops one a little bit closer, so Ricky's going to have to be really, really careful with progressing up the map. Now, Drow Ranger got a double damage popped. Shadow Friend not going to be in any position. Oh, might get caught out here, actually. Frost Arrow's coming in, and one more shot will seal the deal. Drow Ranger grabs herself a solo kill on the mid lane Shadow Fiend, and that double damage with the Frost Arrow is just too much for him. We might see Drow go back here. She's dropping really low, and yeah. Anyways, down back on bottom. I mean, Kunkka, Darkseer, and Nagasiren three of the worst off in terms of farm. Cook has got 6 last hits, but I mean that's nothing to squawk about. And 1 apiece on Darkseer and Naughty Siren. So both of them not doing very well. And this lane that was supposed to disrupt the Luna is not doing that very well. Now we got a gank coming in here between the Ancient Apparition and the Rubik. Looks like they're going to find him. Cold Feet goes out on him right off the bat. Telekinesis pulled back towards the center of that Cold Feet. Latch does happen. And Chilling Touch. Oh man, Shadow Fiend turns around, gets a kill on the Ancient Apparition by throwing out the Shadow Razors, but he will be finished off by the Rubik, and that is that. Now down the bottom lane, looks like they're moving in towards a gank on the Luna. We'll see if they do manage to grab it. That Torrent, whoa, way the hell off. They do get a net though, dishing out a ton of damage. X marks the spot, goes out, vacuum back, and one more hit from anybody. Are they going to get it? Surge forward by the Darkseer. He's looking for it. He's looking for it. Salve up by the Luna. She's trying to survive this. Turns around, gets a Lucent Beam, and manages to finish off the Darkseer with the salve still active. How the hell does she do that? Gets away and will be able to return to lane safely. Darkseer drops. That was really unfortunate. She was just so low. You need, you know, everybody just backed up around here. They could have easily gotten that one last hit, but they backed up thinking she was dead, and she managed to get away because of that. So, really, really unfortunate. Ricky playing a little more safe now, realizing that he's revealed, but he's got to be really careful about where he goes and what he does. Jumping on the Invoker, throws down the Cloud, but a little bit out of position there, and Invoker will just walk out, throw an auto attack back. Shadow Fiend getting zoned out pretty hard in the mid lane here. Drow standing right between him and the creep wave and just abusing the hell out of him every time he thinks he can get some ground. Actually diving him underneath the tower now. She needs one more attack, but he hooks through the trees, gets away with the vision from those trees, and Drow will be forced to bottle up for now. There is a gank coming in by the Ricky though, so if they manage to get up on this Drow, this could be huge trouble for her. Now there is no way to control her, no slows or anything, but yeah, she senses something's up. Ricky is missing from top, Invoker has noted that, and so she backs right the hell up. She's going to walk back towards mid lane. Luna. She's cruising through the jungle, looking for some trouble. She's going to tame up that Centaur and use that to start stacking now. Anyways, they catch out the Ancient Apparition with their combo of the net into Torrent. Manage to get themselves that kill there. Rubik gets a good 3-man TK, but with 4 heroes down here, I don't think he's surviving for long. Luna comes in, throws a Lucent Beam, but once again, I don't think she's going to be a big participant in this fight. Anyways, they get the Rubik now. It is 4 versus the Luna. She throws out the Eclipse, but it is spread evenly throughout all of the enemies, and she drops as well. Now Drow getting out those Frost Arrows on the Kuka, might finish him off, but the Surge actually gets him away. Frost Arrows going out on the Shadow Fiend, just trying to finish him off. Sunstrike is going to miss on the Kuka as he turned himself back around. Now Drow, oh my god, just ruining everything. They decided to re-engage on that. That was a really, really bad idea. And one more Frost Arrow will finish off the Darkseer, so double kill up on the Drow Ranger, and I think a third kill went to the Rubik. Yeah, Rubik did get the kill on the Kuka, and that is that. So PvG, play or quit, is really, really taking off with this game here. The top side of the river here, Invoker grabs himself a Haste Rune. We'll see what he does with this. I don't know if there is any room to gank. Shadow Fiend just coming back to the lane now, so they might be able to find something. He's got to have Cold Snap or something active to allow them to sit there and burst him down. He does have Invoke, so we'll see what he does. He's just going to hold the mid lane for now. He's not going to charge forth. And he's down on the bottom lane. TP's coming in to defend this. Boat flying in on the Drow. It is going to land on 2. Net goes out on Drow, but they turn around. They ignore her. What the hell? No, you need to kill that bitch. Chasing her down. Rubik's running away. Ancient Apparition gets left behind, and he will fall after one more auto attack. Frost Arrow's going out on this Drow, but Song of the Siren going to save them for now. Jumping right in on this Drow, making sure that there's no way she can get away. Silence goes out on the Darkseer. Now Sunstrike will land, does manage to kill that Darkseer, and TK back is the Kunkka, dropping him pretty low. I don't think he's going to fall though. Yeah, it does not. So, the entire engagement ends up being an Ancient Apparition and a Drow Ranger in exchange for the Darkseer. So, not a bad trade. However, they do lose a tower, not leaving one hero behind to defend that, and that will be it. So, second tower of the game, goes the way of play or quit. The first, of course, being that top tier one that Invoker managed to push down while the Ricky was playing defensive. This tower actually dropping pretty low as well. We may see that fall in the near future. The top lane, Ricky hiding around in the trees, going to see if he can catch out Luna, but that's not going to be the case. He just needs to be farming right now. So Ancient Apparition wants to make a gank happen on mid, but he's not seeing any heroes there. And see in just a moment. Shadow Fiend does return to the lane. If he reveals himself, he might be in a lot of trouble. Invoker and the Ancient Apparition are both sitting there waiting for it, but Shadowfriend not feeling very comfortable. He backs himself up the lane. We'll see where he chooses to go from here, but he's playing smart, making sure that he's not in a position to get ganked behind the tower like he did last time, and that certainly would have been what happened. Now, he is with his team here. They have smoked up. They are chasing this down. They will see the Rubik, and he hooks into the trees, trying to juke that out, but sure enough, he is probably going to get caught out here. He's trying to hook into the trees, waste as much time as he can, but one more auto attack from the Shadow Fiend will guarantee that kill. Now, Drow Ranger, in the middle of all this, getting caught up. Oh man, Yules into Sunstrike and a Meteor. Going to drop that Cooker really low, but Invoker taking a beating as well. Drow trying to go head-to-head with the Shadow Fiend will be successful, finishes him off. Shadow Fiend and Rubik, the only two casualties of this fight yet, but Net goes out on the Drow Ranger. They're going to finish her off as well. 12 to 11 is your kill score in the favor of player quit. 13 minutes, 25 seconds is your game time. Now, Reiki jumping in on this Ancient Apparition. One more Blink Strike will assure that kill. So they do manage to grab that. So 3 kills going the way of Antivirus Gaming, and they have just secured their place in this game, making sure that they are indeed still in this. Pushing down this tier 1 tower, I think it is going to drop. One more attack. Okay, a couple more attacks. There we go. She gets it. She doesn't have the song available, so Rubik's going to pull her back, get a Fable out, a couple auto attacks. She nets, drops the Riptide, but she is actually going to fall there. It's a little bit misplayed by her. If she had dropped the net and run. What? Oh, okay. For a second, I saw the kill text popping up over here as the Ancient Apparition ball exploded, and I thought he picked himself up in another kill, but that was not the case. Just the Nightsiren dying in the Rubik there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So we have pressure coming in on the tier 1 tower here, and it is going to fall. Most certainly. There's a fortify, and they are going to pop it, but are they going to be able to successfully defend it? It's got very low health. Boat is going to go in. The tower does drop before the boat lands, and the Tornado into Deafening Blast will catch 2. Ice Blast is going to fly forward, will catch out the Kunkka. They're dishing out a lot of damage. She is going to fall there. So he tries to get a Torrent off, but that is it. Drops 30 seconds down is the Kunkka. 14 to 12 is your kill score, and 15 minutes is your game time. Looks like player quit is really kind of asserting their dominance. Even though the kill score was evened up, they do have a solid gold lead now. The top 3 farmers are on their team as well. They have gotten themselves 3 towers now. Invoker throwing a completely pointless Sunstrike. I don't know what the point of that was, but they're going to grab themselves another tower. Tier 2 going down in the mid lane for... Oh, jeez. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is just... okay. I got a foot cramp while I'm casting. No, not a good time for this. Not a good time. Oh, man. Randomest dust in the world after... Oh, actually, he dropped off the sentry. Ricky is going to get caught out here. Gets cold snapped up. He is going to fall in the mid lane. So Invoker gets that kill off. A Torrent will land on the Invoker. X marks the spot. But a counter boat coming in by the Rubik is not going to land on anybody. Gives a run buff to... Rubik, but that's about it. Now Siren going to fall off as a burst damage gets turned around on her. My foot is still cramping and it hurts like a bitch. And looks like the rest of the Radiant team is going to back off for now. Okay, I think it's calming down. Why do you do this to me, foot? Why? Alright. Let it down easy. Go. Let the muscles relax. Okay. Alright, we good? We're good? I think we're good. I think we're... okay. Alright, we'll keep that under wraps. But I think I'm good for now. My foot has decided to stop being a complete dick. Now, Drow has a Blink Dagger, actually, so that this positioning problems we had mentioned earlier are not going to be as much of a problem. I actually kind of suspected she would get a Force Staff. We've seen a lot of... snipers recently going for that Force Staff because it's a lot easier way to escape from fights. I mean, Blink Dagger, you can't really escape. It helps you get into fights. But anyways, big engagement down in the bottom lane. Lots of burst damage going out on the Ancient Apparition, and Drow's going to blink herself back into a boat. So absolutely genius, but she will walk away from that, okay? Kunkka getting a level 1 X out on Rubik. Kind of pointless there, not doing too much. But yeah, a couple kills secured by player quit. Now Blink back in by the Drow. She's looking for this Kunkka. Ice Blast going to fly. Is it going to land? No! Neither the Ice Blast nor a final arrow will connect. And Kunkka's going to run himself away.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
On the top lane, Drow, just grabbed herself a tier 2 and is now pushing in. No more outer towers remain for Antivirus Gaming, so when it was just a couple tower advantage only a few moments ago, it is now, actually they do have this one, tier 2, sorry. This is the last outer tower though, and it's going to fall in a couple moments here. There is no fortify. TPs will have to be heavy in order to defend this, and they're not going to be able to. They're going to let it drop, and this gold advantage is going to be huge. Look, we're only looking at a 6-kill deficit, but gold graph, 12,000. Yeah, 15,000 now, actually, as it updates. So, 15,000 gold advantage in the favor of player quit. And, like I said, that is very very telling of how these fights have gone now. The EXP graph won't be as drastic. Actually, it's pretty drastic. I expected it to be somewhere around the 6 to 8K mark. It is down past the 10,000 mark. So, a little bit worse than I thought. But they do have a kill lead, so I guess it makes sense. Anyways, player quit now, moving over to Roshan. They're going to finish this up pretty damn quickly. I think Luna will probably be the one taking this. Drow hasn't really needed it. Her positioning has been pretty good, and Luna's died herself a couple times, so that'll be it in a moment here. But Ancient's also stacked just once for the end of this, so she can go grab that as soon as she's done here. Oh, actually, the immortality does go to the Drow, so even though she's only died a couple times and has been doing alright since, they are going to give that to her just to make sure that she can't fall. She is dishing out more damage than the Luna right now, but figured Luna may be the more high priority target as it stands right now. Either way,
top tower is under attack.
mid lane smoke gank coming out of player quit as they look to pick somebody off. Shadow Fiend and Kunkka get themselves a little bit far forward, but then Rubik blinks in, gets a TK up onto the Kunkka. Ice Blast going to land, Kunkka's going to fall. Song of the Siren going to hold things off for just a moment, but are they really going to be able to fight this? Darkseer gets a wall into a vac, dishing out lots of damage. A Kunkka boat's going to fly, not going to hit anybody, but gives to the rum buff out. Now Rubik stealing that Song of the Siren, going to turn things around. Shadow Fiend's going to fall in the middle of all of this. Ancient Apparition will fall in the backlines. I'm not sure what he died to. The Aegis is going to be popped as well. Invoker got the cold snap up on the Naga, trying to fight this out, but Naga is going to try to run herself away. Drow is going to find her. Sunstrike going to go down on a bunch of illusions, finish those off. So triple kill up for the Drow Ranger, and I'm not even sure what the kill tally was in that fight. I think it was 2 for 3? 2 for 3? Oh yeah, 2 for 2 and an Aegis. That's what it was. 2 for 2 and an Aegis. So, not terrible by Antivirus. I guess they kind of held that push. It wasn't really a push, it was more of a gank. And they didn't really have creeps, so not really a push, but they held whatever was there. And although they did give up a couple kills on their side, they did manage to grab themselves the Aegis, so puts them in a little bit of a better position for future ganks. Now, Ricky jumping in on this Drow Ranger, and with an Nimbus Shadow Fiend there, they might be able to finish her off. They do. Blink Strike forward. Going to finish off Drow. 450 gold going their way, and of course, the Aegis was gone as well. So, she's now grabbed herself a Sanjay Yasha, so she's got that ultra positioning build for her. She's got the Blink Dagger to get her in and or out of bad spots, and as well, she is going to have the Sanj, or the Yasha to make her fast, and the Sanj to make her opponent slow. So, good call, good call. Now, Shadow Friend grabs himself the Boots of Travel. I'm not sure how effective that's going to be now in this game, as all of the outer towers are destroyed. I mean, he can still teleport to creep waves, but the creep waves are staying at a constant line right about here, so there's not much he can get to that he can't teleport to already. Or that he can't just walk to already. Sorry, there's not much he can teleport to that he can't just walk to. But, yeah, we'll have to see. Top lane, Luna farming up. She's got herself her BKB now. Sitting on a Yasha as well. We'll probably turn that into a Manta pretty soon. Invoker got himself a Force Staff, a Yule Scepter, a Gem of True Sight for that Ricky, and a Mystic Staff, which will likely be turned into a Sheep Stick as soon as it comes about. Now, big combo coming out on the Shadow Fiend. They kill him off right off the bat. Both thrown by Kunkka, but not going to mean a whole lot. He walks himself away from that, but Shadow Fiend not so lucky. Having a really rough game. Yeah, I think spending that 2,000 gold on some sort of damage, whether it be a Yasha or otherwise, at the beginnings of a BKB, or probably, I mean, he needed to go BKB before Shadowblade, before anything. He needed first item BKB. Anyways, blinked in by the Rubik. They're going in on this. Gets a steal off on the Naga Siren. Gets a mirror image, but the Song of the Siren is popped off. That's going to be canceled a little bit early as the Darkseer walks in. Gets the wall vacuum, and it's dishing out a lot of damage, actually, but just not enough as Luna turns on the BKB. Turns around, dishes out the damage left and right. They're going to finish off that Darkseer as well. So 3 heroes going down, in addition to the Shadow Fiend who went down at the beginning of the fight. Naga Siren was going to walk herself away from that, but GG is called by the Kunkka. So we will probably be seeing the Ancient explode in just a moment here, but 15 to 25 might, nope. 15 to 26? Yeah, 15 to 26 is going to be your final kill score, and the GG has been called. So Antivirus Gaming falling to the superiority of player quit. Decent game there. We saw a lot of action, some interesting picks and lane compositions, which I actually really liked. Gave me a lot to think about these games, because unlike in other pub games where I watch it and I'm like, okay, cool, pub strats, whatever. This game, I'm actually feeling that some of these lanes were viable. I think the Kunkka Naga Siren was actually really good, and I think comboed with something else, make that Kunkka farm a little harder, but combo that up with like a Lina or something along those lines, you would have yourselves a pretty damn deadly aggressive tri-lane. So stuff to think about for the future. I definitely liked both teams' drafts, and unfortunately, well, I mean, fortunately for them, in the end, Player Quit's draft was, well, their drafts and their play was superior, bringing them this victory. So, thank you guys once again for watching. Check me out at GotaCon 2014 this weekend, March 1st and 2nd. Be streaming through Azubu TV around 2 to 5 p.m. this Saturday. So check that out. Follow me on Twitter at Cptn.Canuck Dota. And for now, that has been all. Thank you guys once again for watching. I have been Captain Canuck, and I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful night, evening, morning, whatever it happens to be in your local